What's up, everybody? It's Josh here, back with another Kansas City Chiefs related video, and today I'm going to be doing another mock draft. This time we're going to be using the Draft Network. I made one of these yesterday, but that one was using the PFF mock draft site. But I really wanted to do another one of these post Orlando Brown trade, just because so much has changed and people want to get new ideas about what the Chiefs could do with their new group of picks. And I apologize if you hear my dog in the background at all, just a heads up. But we're going to go ahead and I'm probably going to wait for a few more people to join. We probably won't have too many people. Usually don't, and I usually spring these on people. Here we go. Here we go. We got some people joining. So, anyways, just give it a few more seconds. We'll wait for a few more people to join. Mock draft database. I'm using the Draft Network today, but if you have any suggestions, please make them. Make your case, and I'll consider. So, yeah, I'll just give it a few more seconds, and then we'll go ahead and jump into this mock. All right, looks like we got about 10 people or so. That's a fair number. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go full screen with the draft here so you guys can see. We're going to do a full 7-round mock draft. But of course, we don't have a pick for every round. So that's okay. The only unfortunate thing with the Draft Network is you can't make trades, but I typically don't make trades anyway. And the new circumstances make it to where I'm probably less likely to do a trade anyways than maybe I was before. But yeah, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start. It's pretty exciting having 2 second-round picks. Not gonna lie, it's unfortunate we don't have the 3rd-round pick anymore because we gave that up in the Orlando Brown trade. The first-round pick, we could have went multiple different directions, but it's all right. Julian Swimson in the comments says, gotta go edge or wide receiver with first 2 picks. That's kind of where I'm at. Or I always go into it thinking, hey, we need edge or wide receiver in some combination with the first 2 picks. But then I do these, and I end up not picking an edge till later because the class at those position or at the edge position is actually a little bit deeper than I think people give it credit for, which is okay. And the interesting you already see with like some of these mock drafts is like someone like Cosme, who's usually taken around the 30s or so, is usually gone by that pick. But now that we gave our 1st-round pick to the Ravens, that may push a few different players down the board. I thought I made this the fast speed so it got to our pick quicker, but it's okay. All right. So best players available. Ronnie Perkins is there. Gregory Rousseau is there. Diami Brown, Jabril Cox, Tommy Tremble, Brevin Jordan. Those are probably guys we can get with our next pick if we wanted to. Diami Brown's there. Unfortunately, it looks like my guy Joe Tryon, the edge from Washington, went already. Where did he go? I'm curious. At least I'm pretty sure he got taken. Where is he at? Or did he not get taken? Let me make sure. I swear he got taken. Am I not seeing it? Diami Brown, no-brainer. Yeah, I agree. I'm probably going to go Diami Brown. Let me see. I'm just curious where Joe Tryon went because I really like him. I guess it doesn't matter. I'm not going to waste time on it. Screw it. I'm going Diami Brown with our 1st pick. I kind of make these boring when I pick Diami Brown with like my 1st pick every single time, but I just like him, man. I just really do. And if I wait just a little bit longer, he's probably not going to be at pick 63. So I'm going to go ahead and take him because I like Diami Brown, and I think he'd be an awesome fit in this offense. Just because of his blocking, his downfield ability. Like I said multiple times, he averaged 20 yards per reception the past 2 seasons at North Carolina, which is very, very good. Let's take a look at the edge prospects that are here, though. So Gregory Rousseau is still there. I feel like that might be one of the best possible picks here. Ronnie Perkins, the Oklahoma edge, already went. I do like him. Yeah, Janarius Robinson, probably a reach here, but that's okay. Jabril Cox still there. I know I take Jabril Cox in a lot of these too, but it's like, I mean, he's just good. So how do I get back to the all board? Oh, you just exit out. Okay. Yeah, Jabril Cox is there. We might be able to hang tight and maybe get Dylan Moses later. What do you guys think? Russo or Cox? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, yeah, they really like him here. Or so Julian, you're saying in the comments that he's a 3-4 outside linebacker. Not necessarily. I mean, he has the size to play in Spag's system. 6'5", 260. I mean, that's exactly what they look for. Good production, starting defensive end that gets chances to rush from the interior. The Chiefs like versatility, so maybe that's something that we could go with. And I would like a Gregory Rousseau pick here anyways, just because Jabril Cox is another one that I've taken so many times. So yeah, let me know any. It's like a coin flip for me between Rousseau or Cox. Let me know. I think I don't know, man. I'd rather hold out for Dylan Moses later on. Let me see what the linebacker board has him at. They got him pretty low on here. I know that. Yeah, they got him as 136. We might be able to get him at like pick 144, our next one. Pulled the trigger on Greg. Yeah, let's do it. I like it. Gregory Rousseau, productive, high upside, edge defender. I like it. Because he's someone who's been mocked in the first round quite a few times as well. Not necessarily the Chiefs, but just at some point in the first round. So, I mean, with our second round pick, that's a heck of a pick there. Yeah, with this next one, I'd like to target linebacker. And like I said yesterday when I did my other mock draft, Brett Veach talked about how the linebacker class isn't all that deep. Oh, let's hope Moses is still there by the time we pick. Come on, hang on. Do not take Dylan Moses. Please don't. I don't think he's going to make it. I don't think he's going to make it to the 4th, man. Come on, just a few more picks. Please don't let Dylan Moses go. Don't let him go. Don't let him go. Don't let him go. Dang it, you got to be kidding me. The Vikings took him the pick before. Jeez, come on, man. Monty Rice is still there, the linebacker from Georgia. I know a lot of people like him. They really had to take Moses the pick before. Dang it. Yeah, no, I don't think Derek Barnes is there anymore either. So can't go after him unless they just have him really low on here, but I don't think they do. PFF is kind of low on Derek Barnes. Keith Taylor Jr., my cornerback, went too. I really like him. Patrick Jones, another edge I like, even though we already addressed edge, but I just really liked him a lot. I'll go to the all board, or so we can see what their BPA is. Drew Dahlman, the interior O-line from Stanford. People like him could wrap up the O-line there. Dalen Hayes, Richard LeCount, Marco Wilson. What do you guys think? Monty Rice or Derek Barnes? Yeah, I could go Rice here. I like Rice. He's got upside. I just really wish they didn't take Dylan Moses because I really do like him. But I was saying before I was freaking out about Dylan Moses there that Brett Veach really likes, or he talked about how excuse me, that the linebacker class isn't all that deep. So that, to me, that felt like him basically saying that he wants to take a linebacker sooner rather than later, because they didn't get one in free agency. Now, they still always could if there's someone out there that they like. Like, I know KJ Wright's still a free agent. Sometimes there's guys that sit for a long time and eventually sign. Maybe the Chiefs could capitalize there. I'm just throwing out ideas, though. But, the point is, they didn't get anyone in free agency, and they lost one of their starting linebackers, Damian Wilson, to the Jags. So, they need a linebacker, and if you don't think the class is deep, well, then you got to get one. I think I'll go Monty Rice here. 4-3 scheme, they have him as a good fit. Backup inside linebacker, core special teamer. I mean, that's it's linebacker depth. So Rice are good safety. You can check out the defensive backs too if you'd like. Kerry Vincent Jr., the LSU quarterback. Richard LeCount, the Georgia safety. Josh Bledsoe's there. Caden Stearns, DeMar Hamlin. We could probably get him later on, though. What do you guys like? Let me know. Because that's kind of what we're looking at right now. I'll give you guys a few seconds just to give me your take, and then we'll go ahead and make a selection. I want to make sure I get your guys' opinions involved as much as possible. Looks like you guys are saying Rice, so let's go ahead and do it. Let's clean up that linebacker position. Monty Rice, that's the pick. I guess I'm happy with that. Bro, I really wish the board fell a little bit better, but that's okay. As long as we're not reaching too much for need or anything like that. I mean, I don't think Monty Rice is necessarily a reach there. Pick 175. I feel like this is where we got to go defensive back. High upside defensive back. DeMar Hamlin's there. I know a lot of people like him. Thomas Graham Jr., Avery Williams. Yeah. What do you guys like here at defensive back? Let me know. I think I like the safeties that are here more so than the corners. Probably DeMar Hamlin, to be honest. I do really like him. Derek Forrest, the safety from Cincinnati. People like him too. Could be a nice developmental guy on the back end. Shakur Brown. We'll see what they say about him. Just curious. Enters the 2021 draft as an early entry after enjoying a successful campaign in 2019 as a breakout defender for the Spartans defense. Implemented in much more of a variety of roles in 2020. Press corner or perimeter or slot at the next level. High occurrence of man-to-man coverage. I mean, they do need someone. I mean, they kind of. Yeah, I mean, if he can play on the outside, I like it. Yeah, cornerback. I'd like to get a cornerback in this draft, even more so than safety. But like I've said before, Spags is someone that sometimes it doesn't matter if you're a corner or safety. He's just going to play the best combination of defensive backs at once. So honestly, I might go against what you guys are saying and go ahead and take DeMar Hamlin. I just really like him a lot. And I would like to upgrade that third safety spot too. It looks like you guys really like Shakur Brown, though. I mean, averaging more than one pick per game, that's pretty hard to do. I know it was a weird college season last year, but, I do like productive cornerbacks. I mean, they got him listed as a good size on here, 6 foot, 180. I'll go ahead and do it. You guys seem to like him, and I want cornerback depth. You guys know how wary I am of a cornerback group of Snead, Ward, Fenton, and Bo Pete Keys and DeAndre Baker. I mean, everyone beyond L'Jarius Sneed in that group is essentially a question mark. Ward, think he topped out as a player. I'm not sure how much I trust him as the team's #2 corner. DeAndre Baker, you know, a lot of people are high on him. I loved the pickup, but we have no idea where he's at physically. And Rashad Fenton, he's a slot guy. And I mean, he's not really any more than that. He's a solid slot corner, but I do like him. But yeah, and then Bo Pete Keys, I mean, there's not really much to say about him. So far, he's only a special teamer. I wonder if Kenny Yeboah is still available. Nah, looks like he got taken already. I would have really liked that pickup. Yeah, I think he went a while back. But right now we're at pick 181. I think with the last pick, because this is our second 5th rounder, right? Yeah, this is our second 5th rounder. So we have 2 more picks, including this one. So I would like to go really best player available with this pick, and then I want to get Marquez Stevenson probably with my last pick. Damar Hamlin is fine. Is Damar Hamlin still up there? I might have overlooked it. No, Damar Hamlin is not available. Went to the Green Bay Packers at pick 178. Derek Forrest is still there. I know people like Derek Forrest, the Cincinnati safety, like I said. So, let's just take a look at edge, see who else is there. Shaka Toney, Patrick Johnson, Wyatt Hubert. Tight end, Trey McKitty, kind of a reach here, at least according to them. What else can we look at? Linebacker again, Isaiah McDuffie. Some people like him, kind of a reach. Let's check out interior O-line, see who's there, wherever it is. Where's interior O-line? That says interior. Where? Am I blind? I'll check out tackle. Not really anyone there. Where's the interior O-line? Am I missing it? Or do they just like, oh, I just had to scroll down. And the all tab was there too. I thought I had lost it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, I'm on interior O-line now. Not looking like too much there. Tommy Kramer from Notre Dame. Actually, that might not be a horrible pick here. Some people like Drake Jackson as a possible sleeper, but I'm not sure I would take him here. But apparently a lot of people like him as a starting center in the NFL right off the bat. Apparently he's pretty solid. So Shaka Toney or Trey McKitty. You guys seem to like Trey McKitty. You guys seem to be higher on Trey McKitty than I am. I don't know. I actually wouldn't be I actually would be a fan of a Tommy Kramer pick here, just to lock up the O-line. Tamarion Terry or Marquez Stevenson at 207. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. I'd love to add the second body to the wide receiver group with our last pick. I guess right now it's between Trey McKitty and Tommy Kramer. Between Trey McKitty and Tommy Kramer, which of those picks do you guys like the most? Let me know. See, the thing with calling Tamarion Terry a sleeper wide receiver is like at this point, so many people like I swear every fan base calls him a sleeper wide receiver. To the point it's like, can you really call him a sleeper anymore? Like everyone knows who he is. Just the reason he's so low in these mocks is because there's questions about the work ethic at Florida State and struggles with injuries. And, yeah, those are 2 big things. So, but he is like, what, 6'3" or something like that, and is very fast. I mean, he's got good size and speed. Some analysts have McKitty as a top 5 tight end in the class. Yeah, I mean, really, I don't know if I'm as high on McKitty as some people, but to be honest, I haven't looked into him too much. But I mean, like Kenny Yeboah, I consider to be like one of the better tight ends in the class, and I mean he's way better than McKitty, in my opinion. Yeah, the only thing is I can't do trades on the Draft Network though. Yeah, I can do them on PFF, but not the Draft Network. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Kramer here, lock up the offensive line. And then with the last pick, I think I'll go Terry or Stevenson because those are some of my favorites. Trey McKitty went to the Chargers, so hopefully you guys don't get too pissed off at me. I passed over him. I'm sorry. Yeah, Status Alpha says McKitty is average. I kind of tend to agree. I don't really see too much upside there. Yaboa is a guy that like I think I feel like fourth round is perfect for him. Some team might take him in the third if they fall in love with the upside. Although I will say I watched some of Yaboa's games. Sometimes he looked very passive. I don't know why. Like I watched him against Arkansas and he looked very passive, not a very like enthusiastic blocker, but for sure a talented pass catcher. All right, so we're with the last pick. I really want to look at wide receiver here. So they have Stevenson really low on here. Stevenson and Terry. So Tamarion Terry is still here, and then we got Marquez Stevenson. Marquez Stevenson is an absolute burner. Love him. Come in, take over return duties, like I said before. He was very productive in college. He's just got injury concerns. And the same thing with Tamarion Terry. I've taken Marquez Stevenson so many times, though. I think I might go Terry here. So what would you guys think of the Terry pick? What do you think of Joe Tryon? Just curious. Yeah, Tyler, actually, I really like Joe Tryon, and I was looking for him with one of my first second-round picks, but he wasn't he got taken already. But I like him a lot. I think he's got good potential as an edge defender in the NFL. I watched some of his film. And the dude's got long arms, which gives him leverage on blockers, so he's got good potential as a run defender on the edge. And he's got good athleticism, and when he turns the corner, that helps him a lot. I really like him, actually. I think he's one of the more well-rounded defensive ends in the class. Yeah, Terry, man, the thing that Terry has on Marquez Stevenson is just the size, man. And that's what helps him with the contested catch rate. So, yeah, I think I'll go Terry just because I've gone Stevenson so many times. And I'm going to read the Draft Network's analysis of Terry just because I'm curious. Quickly made an impact for the Seminoles offense. Florida State's leading receiver in 2018 and 2019. They say that he's got good catch radius, good at the point of catch. Not proven to be able to run a diverse route tree, and he's more of a linear route runner that isn't sudden in and out of breaks. He struggles to consistently catch the ball, and his ball skills down the field are hit or miss. His tape is a mixed bag, and like so many talented Seminoles in recent years, the lack of coaching and development. Yeah, that's the thing with Florida State is they've just been so down as a program that like sometimes I don't know what the deal is, but Terry is talented. I think I'm going to go ahead and take him, though. They got him as a developmental outside receiver. I'll take it. So we end up with Diami Brown. And Tamarion Terry as our receivers in this class, which is awesome. Completely agreed. Just needs to add a secondary move to his game. Yep, I noticed that too. Sometimes when when like the offensive linemen have an answer for his first move, he doesn't have too much else to go to. He'll just have to add more to his arsenal. All right, so that's our draft. Just waiting for it to wrap up, and then we'll go over it. And as I wrap up this draft, I would like you guys to maybe leave some comments or questions in the chat, and I'll answer them just to end things. So make sure you leave those now, and maybe I'll go over some questions, or if you guys just like literally anything, we can just talk for a little bit. We can talk Chiefs football. I don't mind. But yeah. Just waiting for it to finish up here. Just a few more picks left. I'm pretty happy with this draft, though. Some picks didn't fall just right, but overall, I mean, our top three of Brown, Russo, and Rice, I'd be really happy with that. Lego My Ego says, what we really need is a dedicated returner and wide receiver. I like Hardman, but drops too many punts, and the Cheetah don't need to return kicks. I completely agree. Hardman averaged an atrocious 7 yards per punt return last year, and that number is even inflated by that Dolphins return, which was like his only good one, and he fumbles a lot. And he doesn't have very good field vision. And the sad thing was they didn't or they gave Byron Pringle a chance when Hardman wasn't working out, and Byron Pringle's first 3 tries he ended up getting a touchdown. And it's like they gave Hardman chance after chance and he didn't do too much. But yeah, they definitely need someone to take over return duties. I'm gonna go ahead and go over our draft real quick though. So first pick, Diami Brown out of North Carolina. He's my favorite receiver. I would love for him to be at pick 58. If he's there at pick 58, the Chiefs need to run to the podium. And honestly, I like Brown so much, and he would make this offense so unstoppable that if the Chiefs think he's going to get taken before pick 58, I would consider trading up, maybe packaging both our seconds and trading up, dude, because he's I love Diami Brown. But we get a good receiver to take over the Sammy Watkins role. Gregory Rousseau, the edge for Miami. He's probably the best player available there. Didn't really expect him to be there. Got good size, very high upside. I like that pick a lot. Did not expect him to be there. Monty Rice, the linebacker from Georgia, can come in and be good linebacker depth. Less Neiman snaps, always a plus. Shakur Brown, cornerback, Michigan State. We add a new face to the defensive back group. A lot of you guys seem to like him. Productive career at Michigan State. Tommy Kramer, interior O-lineman from Notre Dame. We can go ahead and have him compete at center as well. And then we got Tamarion Terry, the sleeper wide receiver out of Florida State. So I really like this draft. Let me know what you guys think of it. But I'm going to go ahead and answer some of your guys' questions and stuff like that. So IDK says, do you think it's a possibility for the Chiefs to trade back into the first round? If so, who do you think they would take? I don't think they'll trade back in the first round because they would take a lot of capital, I believe. And really, they could package both their second round picks, but do I really think that's going to get them back into the first? Not really. But I just don't see it happening. But if they were to trade back in, who do I think they would take? If they're really high on Terrace Marshall, maybe that's who they would take. I don't know. That's a good question. But Connor, who was in the chat, I forget, or I don't know if he's still in or not. He hasn't said anything in a while. But he asked me last night if the Chiefs were to give up a bunch of picks and get the number 1 overall pick in the draft, who would I take? And you can't trade back. And I was like, well, if the Chiefs had the number 1 pick somehow and they could just take anyone, who would I take? And I said Kyle Pitts, because, man, could you imagine Kyle Pitts in this offense? He said Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith, I'm pretty sure, but I'm going with Kyle Pitts, man, because he can line up just about anywhere. Excuse me. Julian says picking at 207 is better than relying on Blake Bell. If you mean a tight end, I don't think a 7th or a 6th round tight end would be better than Blake Bell, actually, but that's just me. McCole, LaMelo Ball says McCole can't figure out the position. He's a borderline liability when he's out there. Here's the thing with McCole. McCole is, and sometimes people think I'm being too hard on him, but the problem with McCole is okay, make no mistake, McCole is still a weapon for the Kansas City Chiefs. He is a good player. He's going to have his big plays, but I just keep asking the question: when is the occasional big play still going to be enough? He needs to prove himself as a reliable chain mover, someone Pat can go to consistently on 3rd and 4th down when the Chiefs are in a jam, and he just hasn't been that guy. The problem is he's not an X receiver. He struggles to beat the press, and he needs to be braver going over the middle. And then you guys know Patrick Mahomes will yell at him 5 times a game to keep running his route because he quits running his routes. But yeah, I mean, he regressed last year. There's no question about it. I mean, he had the highest drop rate on the team, and I mean, he had increased targets and still had comparable stats to last year. So yeah, he's really got to improve this year. This year's make or break for him. Tyler says, I really hope we take Dylan Moses. I think he fits what we need. I'm going to go ahead and actually put myself back on the screen. He goes, I really hope we take Dylan Moses. I think he fits what we need right now. Him or maybe end up with Bolton at 58. Those are my two favorites. We need a run stuffer to take over for Hitchens. Bolton would be a great replacement for Hitchens in the future. I don't think he'll be there at 58, but if he is, I would like it a lot. I'm kind of a Missouri homer, but I do like Bolton a lot. And Dylan Moses can really play any linebacker position on the field. He's got the athleticism for it. He's got elite play speed. I like him a lot. And yeah, I mean, people seem to be low, like really low on him, which is why you're able to get him in like the 3rd or 4th round sometimes in these mock drafts. And it's because he played really timid in 2020. And I think it was because he just wanted to get by without getting injured again, which I can understand. But he is a very talented player. So I would like either of those guys, depending on where they're available. I'm not – okay, Julian, I'm not saying Blake Bell is the savior at tight end too, but the thing is who are you – you can't – there's no one in the 6th or 7th round that is going to get snaps over Blake Bell. Andy likes Blake Bell. That's why Andy Reid was the first call to Blake Bell as soon as he became a free agent, because the Chiefs missed him last year. They like his blocking. They like him in sort of that H-back role as well. I mean, he's a solid dude. I mean, there's too many needs this year in the draft for the Chiefs to be able to go out and seriously address tight end, unless, like I said, someone like Kenny Yeboah was there in like the 4th round and they take him. Something like that would have to happen. But they're just tight end too. They're not addressing it this year. I don't believe so. Lamella Ball says Nicole blew a TD in the Super Bowl because he gave up on his route. Yeah, he did give up on his route. I remember the one you were talking about. And he also they tried to get him involved early, and he like dropped a couple passes as well. Elijah Moore, Terrace Marshall Jr., who will take Sammy's role? Well, Elijah Moore, I think. Terrace Marshall's more of an X than Elijah Moore. But yeah, I mean, I like both players. Elijah Moore, a lot of people like him. He is an explosive player, but who's a better fit for this offense? I would have to go with Terrace Marshall. But it looks like you guys are slowing down on questions a little bit. It looks like we got 32 people watching right now, which is a really good number. So for those of you that are watching, leave questions or concerns, anything like that, and I'll answer them. I'll keep going for a little bit. If not, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. IDK says, if the Chiefs were to randomly trade Mahomes, what would it take? For like Brett Veach to like actually consider trading Mahomes, it would probably take like, I don't know, 8 first-round picks and like a few like really good players probably for me to say yes to that. And see, before we won the Super Bowl, I remember someone was like, okay, if you traded Mahomes to the Seahawks, but you ended up getting Russell Wilson, like Bobby Wagner, Tyler Lockett, and just like a combination of guys to go with Wilson, would you take it? And I would actually kind of have to think about that, because yeah, you would be giving up the best player in the deal, but man, like you're giving yourself like a really, really good team with all the other players involved in the deal. But I mean, realistically, man, it would take an absolute haul. Elijah Moore is explosive, but a bit too small. Yeah, it's just I don't think he fits really what the Chiefs need. Same thing with like a Rondale Moore too. Like he's just not what the Chiefs need. A good player, but yeah. Um, Tyler says he preferred Diami Brown over Amon-Ra St. Brown. I agree. Will the Chiefs take any OL in this year's draft if it's not a stud like I assume you mean Dickerson, the Alabama guy? Yeah, I think there's a very strong possibility they still take offensive line. Now, if they do, I think it'll probably be maybe a later round guy or a mid round guy, probably on the interior. People have thrown around the idea of them still drafting tackle depth. I don't know why you'd waste a pick on that this year, again, with so many other needs on the team. You got Orlando Brown now. You still have Yasir Durant. The team likes him. You still got Mike Remmers, Lucas Niang. Why invest in tackle again? I wouldn't like it. At least not in the mid rounds. Maybe the later rounds if they really like someone. But someone on the interior that can play center, absolutely. Yeah. Status Alpha says we should trade our 63 and 144. Move up to 53 to get Diami because he won't make it any further. Yeah, I would honestly consider it. I would consider trading up for Diami if he's still there and the Chiefs think he'll get taken because I think he is that good. IDK says, by the end of his career, how many chips do you think Mahomes will have? I'll set the over-under on 4. I think that's fair. I'll set the over-under at 4. So sorry, skipped one. Julian says, do you think Darius Harris has a shot at cracking the 53? Yeah, I don't. Well, depending on what the Chiefs do in the draft, I don't think they have a choice but to let Darius Harris make the 53 because right now it's Neiman, Hitchens, Gay. You need more than that. Like, you got to have more guys on the roster that can actually play linebacker. So, and I mean, he did start in a game last year. It wasn't ideal. It was a break glass situation where Hitchens and Wilson were out, but still started the game last year, and he got the green dot as well. Yeah, it's okay. I knew what you meant. Have you done any research on Mike Strachan from Charleston? Let me know if I'm saying that wrong. I have not, though. But if you guys do have any prospects you want me to take a look at, go ahead and let me know, and I'll take a look at them and maybe even make a video about them. Can you see the Chiefs trading back into the third to hit the sweet spot? Brett Veach, I think you mean Brett Veach is targeting. Yeah, actually, I can because they still have the 4th and 2 5ths. I don't know if that would get them into the 3rd, but if I could still see them trading up, packaging maybe their 5ths and their 4th to move up, maybe into the earlier 4th to get someone that they like. Definitely. Will Willie Gay be a starter this year? How would you say he played last year? Yeah, I mean, they have no choice but to let him be a starter. Again, like they don't have too much else. But I mean, he has to start. He has to start. I mean, they invested too high in him. If he doesn't start, well, then that's just malpractice by the franchise. And he did play well last year when they let him play. He just still has a long way to go mentally and understanding where to be and that sort of thing because, like I said, in that game last year where Darius Harris started, he got the green dot that you get on the back of the helmet for being the leader of the defense, and Willie Gay did not get it, so I think that's a little bit telling, and he'll just have a little bit of a way to go. LaMelo Ball says, Chris Sims said Diami Brown is wide receiver 3 in the entire class. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty high on Diami Brown too, so I wouldn't be surprised if some people have him that high. Also said Herbert and Mahomes were QB1 in their classes before they were drafted. Yeah, so you like him as credibility-wise. But, yeah, I really like Diami Brown. I'm super high on him. I would love him in this offense. I've said it so many times. So the Chiefs take a chance on LB Jamian Sherwood, 6'2", 220 out of Auburn. Depends on where, but I haven't looked into him too much, if I'm being honest. Thoughts on Seth Williams and Simi Fehoko? I really like Seth Williams a lot, actually, as a mid-round guy. Another guy that can fill in the X role very solidly. He's got the size for it, disciplined player. I'm a fan. Simi I haven't looked into as much, but I do like Seth Williams a lot. If we have someone blocking for Patrick and we have a good defense, we've all made it to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl once again. Yeah, I mean, any team that can block for Patrick Mahomes and has a good defense has a good shot at making it to the Super Bowl for sure. I mean, really, the defense is in decent shape right now. I would just like to see them address edge still and linebacker and then add a defensive back. And they still got like training camp cuts and stuff like that to take advantage of. And they could always bring Bashaud Breeland back too after the draft. So I think they'll be in good shape. My highest priority in the draft now is probably wide receiver, though. Chances Chiefs go 17-0. I don't know, man. There's going to be, I mean, you know, there's going to be games that they take off, and if they do, if they have a really good record towards the end of the year, they're going to have one of those games where they sit the starters, and they're probably going to lose that game. So probably not going to go 17-0, and I don't think teams care as much about going 17-0 anymore with like injuries and stuff like that. So I mean, and it's extremely difficult too. I mean, there's going to be a day they get caught. It's going to happen, but for a record prediction, I'll go 14-2 again. Well, they have the 17th game this year, so I mean, I don't know, 14-3. What would happen if Orlando Brown gets injured? Well, this team is screwed. If you're saying that in response to me saying they shouldn't address tackle in the draft anymore, I mean, Remmers is okay on the right. That would mean they would just have Niang play on the left. And Niang, I mean, they had him. There was that video he was training at left tackle. So if that had to happen, I mean, I think they'd be okay, right? And like I said, the team still likes Yasir Durant to play. I mean, he could maybe play in emergency situations with another year under his belt. So, I mean, you never want your starting left tackle to get hurt, but I think the Chiefs would be better prepared for it this year than they were last season. Do you think the Chiefs will get back into being a dominant run team with the people movers we have in the offensive line? Yeah, I actually suggested that in my Orlando Brown video. I think all these moves that the Chiefs have done this offseason have kind of hinted at that. They signed Michael Burton, the fullback from the Saints, when we all thought the fullback position was dead on the roster. They brought in Austin Blythe, who helped lead a top 10 rushing offense with the Rams last year. Brought in Joe Thuney, who's got good power. And then Orlando Brown, who's coming from a run dominant offense. And then they invested a first round pick just last year into a running back. So absolutely, I think they're going to run the ball more. I don't think they're going to be a dominant run team, but I think they certainly will run the ball more, because if you saw in the Super Bowl, they had to run the ball to make sure Patrick didn't get absolutely killed. And the Bucs were daring the Chiefs to run the ball, and when they did, they were successful. And I think the team finally realized that. 1 second. Seems like the franchise has high hopes in D-Rob this year. Do you think he has potential to be a wide receiver too? We've seen D-Rob. D-Rob is what he is at this point. He's a solid receiver that's maybe going to give you 400 or 500 yards and maybe a few touchdowns. But wide receiver too, nah. I mean, he was good at filling in for Sammy on occasion because he replicates a lot of what he does, but he just is what he is. I know that franchise told him when he signed that they had big plans for him. I don't know about that, but he's a solid player when he's on. What do you think Brownie's contract will look like? It said that the Chiefs will start on a long-term deal immediately. To be honest, I'm not going to be surprised if it's at least $20 million a year. I think that's what, I forget who said that. I think like a national analyst of some sort predicted that he's going to get like probably around 20 million, or over the cap. I think they have like the contract projections or whatever. They projected him to get around $20 million per year. I wouldn't be surprised. And if you're good at blocking for Patrick Mahomes, yeah, you probably deserve $20 million a year. But yeah. Last question. Should the Chiefs sign Bernard Pollard? No. What would it take to get OBJ? I mean, I would never do it, but probably like, I don't know, second and a fourth rounder probably. I mean, he's coming off a torn ACL, and I don't think the Browns maybe value him as much anymore as from when they first traded for him, if that makes sense. Sorry. Pollard signing the TB. Thoughts on Carlos Basham? Haven't looked into him a ton either. Some of my favorite edge prospects, though, just because I keep getting asked about him: Joe Tryon, Patrick Jones, Ronnie Perkins. Who else? Who else do I like? Dalen Hayes, I like him too. Carlos Basham. Hey, high ups. The guys I like are like high upside pass rushers. I really like Joe Tryon though because he's got good edge setting potential. But really, what I'm looking for is someone who's just a high upside pass rusher. If they sacrifice a little bit of run defense to be a good pass rusher, I'm still okay with it. Because I think that's why the Chiefs targeted Melvin Ingram, because he was just someone that could rush the passer and was a little bit different from some of their other defensive ends. Because he's not a typical Spags defensive end. He's not someone that's long and stout like that. He's just someone that can come in and can be a little bit of a speed rusher on third down, and I think that's kind of what I would like for the Chiefs to get in the draft. Or they could always turn back to Melvin Ingram if his price comes down. Who's the team to watch for in the AFC West? Personally, I think the Chargers will be good. Yeah, I mean, I think you had to go with the Chargers. Raiders, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Broncos, they still got a long way to go, I think. I mean, they need a quarterback. And I'm a Drew Lock fan. I'm a Mizzou fan, so I'm rooting for Drew Lock. I just don't see it working out there. And if you look at the way Justin Herbert played last year, yeah, I mean, it's always going to be the Chargers as long as they can stay healthy. So, yeah. Do you think Eric Fisher and Mitch have played their last snap in the NFL? I think the Orlando Brown move completely shut the door on the Eric Fisher thing, but Mitchell Schwartz, he's good enough healthy to where I'd consider taking him back. Do you think with the new offensive line, the Chiefs will be better at short yardage runs? Absolutely. The Chiefs were one of the worst at those short run scenarios last year. Austin Blythe will help a lot with that. He's a huge run blocking upgrade from Ryder. You got Tooney in there, LDT coming back. Absolutely. How would you feel about the Chiefs picking up Antonio Brown? Personally, I wouldn't be upset about it. AB is such a weird case. I don't know, man. Like, if they sign him, like, it's one of those things where it's like, I'd probably tell you it's not the greatest idea now, but if they sign him, like, I'll talk myself into it. But if they were to sign him, I think it would be after the draft. Let's just say they go into the draft wanting a receiver and it just doesn't quite work out, and they still feel like they need a receiver. Well, then I'd consider Antonio Brown. Sure. You think Basham is better than Tryon? I'll have to look into him a little bit more if that's the case. I do like Tryon though for sure. Do you expect a good season from Taco Charlton? Yeah, I really do. I like Taco Charlton a lot. I thought he showed flashes, and I believe he had a higher pass rushing grade than Frank Clark last year when he was on the field, which isn't saying much. You guys know I'm critical of Frank Clark, but yeah, I like Taco, and I hope he does well this year because I think he showed flashes last year. So, let's see. I got lost a little bit. I know we already used a first rounder on CEH last year, but after seeing how they tried to replace Damian Williams, if Najee Harris or Travis Etienne was available at 63, not 58, would you take him? Yeah, I'd consider it. And both those guys got good speed, which is what they lost in Damian Williams. Clyde and Darrell are closer to 4'6", 4'7", 40 guys. And that's why I'm kind of upset that they cut Damian Williams, because they lost kind of that speed home run ability that they had in their running back room. I mean, Brett Veach even said that every position besides quarterback, they're open to. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, if Najee Harris is at 63, I mean, sure. I actually wouldn't be too upset with that if they think he would be really good in this offense. We don't have a third. Yeah, you're replying to the other guy. I think we re-signed Schwartz. Yeah, I wouldn't rule it out. In your opinion, will Clyde Edwards-Helaire improve this year with the training camp? Yeah, I mean, I would hope. I like Clyde. I've criticized him a lot at times, though. And some of it is me being unfair to him because I'm always going to hate the Clyde Edwards-Helaire pick more than the actual player. But the truth is that no running back was going to run well behind that offensive line. I mean, no one was. And sometimes I need to consider that a little bit more when talking about Clyde. But yeah, I mean, I would think Clyde has a much better year next year with all that considered. A follow-up question. Will the Chiefs draft a late-round running back? Yeah, I mean, I could see it, and I like a lot of the late-round running back prospects, like Jamar Jefferson from Oregon State. I really like him as someone who could be a safety valve in the passing game, make guys miss, and get those first downs. And he's kind of similar size to Clyde, too. Kind of similar build to Clyde, so like if Clyde were to ever go down, they have someone to replicate what he does. Or like I said, they could get someone with a little bit more speed that can bring back what they lost in Damian. So definitely. CEH is such a wasted pick. Yeah, I mean the thing is like when you look back and when you look back at the Super Bowl and notice all the other holes that we had, the CEH pick just it was kind of embarrassing almost because look, you can what if the Chiefs drafted offensive line instead of that CEH pick, Like I get it. Maybe the offensive lineman at 32 last year would have been a reach, but Clyde was a reach. So yeah, and also he was probably my fourth running back on the board. I get he's a good fit for this offense, but I like Jonathan Taylor more. I like some of the other guys better. I would have been happier maybe with someone in the later rounds. I mean, look, when you consider the fact that James Robinson, a UDFA, was the best rookie rusher in the class, and the Jaguars, got him as an undrafted free agent, it just makes the pick look dumb. It just really does. And again, I'm not hating on Clyde, but it was an irresponsible pick. Yeah, thanks for agreeing with me on that. Some people don't. Some people are a lot higher on CEH than I am. CEH averaged 4.6 to 9 yards per carry almost last year. That's pretty good if you ask me. I mean, the thing is if he's not going to be someone says, why are you all hating on CEH? He had over 1,000 yards with the trash O-line. No, he had over 1,000 yards from scrimmage. He only had 800 yards rushing, which still isn't bad, don't get me wrong, but it's running back, man. It's just I don't know. I wouldn't have taken him in the first round. Sorry, I wouldn't have. Clyde is not a bad running back, but we should have addressed another position. Yeah, Taylor is better, though. Yeah, I like Taylor more than Clyde, but I think the Chiefs liked Clyde a little bit more because of the fact that he was fresher than Taylor. Taylor got used a lot at Wisconsin. So, yeah. And also, they liked CEH's pass-catching ability, but they didn't use CEH's pass-catching ability. So it's why make the pick? Brett Veach drafted well. He did not know his O-line was going to be in shambles. Yeah, that's one of the arguments too. You can't really predict 4 of your 5 starting offensive linemen to go down at some point. But yeah, I mean, we can debate about the Clyde pick all day. I've said what I said about it. Do you think our O-line will be better now than it was last year? Yeah, I mean, no question. They have to be better than last year. I love Clyde. I think he will be the number one. He can be that number one back. Yeah, sure. CEH isn't going to be in KC very long. I don't know, man. We'll have to see. He's got that 5th-year option, so. I like Taylor, but yeah, he had a lot of miles on him. Yeah, that was kind of my concern with him. Probably a couple more minutes, and then I'll wrap this up. CEH was a rookie without a chance to figure out the offense. Yeah, you do have to consider that, but again, James Robinson, UDFA, was the leading rusher, rushed for over 1,000 yards. Same situation as CEH, and the Jaguars weren't very good either. Look, I'm not again. See, the CEH hate is unreal. I'm not hating on CEH. He's a fine player, but I'm not a fan of him in the first round. I'm just not. Yeah, I mean, I'm just not. Diami Brown will go. Oh, you guys are just debating about that. Okay. I really wish ETN came out last year. I think if ETN came out last year, that's maybe who the Chiefs go with their first round pick, to be honest. He got mocked to the Chiefs a lot. Clyde is a rotational back. He's better than a rotational back. I think he can be a feature back, but it's just like, how do I put this? Like CEH, like he's not a generational talent at the running back position. He's just not. He's a good player, but you can't say with a straight face he's a generational talent. And they took him in the first round, and I just don't agree with it. And they had other needs. And yeah, Damian Williams opted out in hindsight, but it's just like I didn't like the pick, man. I really didn't. Should we have tried to keep Le'Veon Bell? Good question. I actually wouldn't be opposed to bringing Le'Veon Bell back, but I don't think Le'Veon Bell wants to come back after the way last season ended. Le'Veon Bell actually was really impressive to me when he got the ball. Really good at making guys miss. He still has that ability. Was averaged about 9.6 yards per reception. Was really effective in the passing game. They just never fed him the ball consistently, though. And he's someone that needs those carries to get going and those touches to get going. And they just never really gave him that chance. And again, Chiefs have a new and improved offensive line. If they brought Bell back, then I would actually like it. And I think they almost kind of owe him an opportunity to run behind this offensive line. So, what is your ideal combo of second-round picks? Wide receiver and edge, most likely. That's what I would like to go. Looks. Sorry, I accidentally skipped over one there. Would you be surprised if the Chiefs directed a running back with one or two of our fifth-round picks? In the fifth round, if they like someone down there, no, I would not be surprised at all. They definitely could use one more to add to the rotation. If Trevor somehow fell to 63, would you take him? If you mean Trevor Lawrence, I mean the quarterback. You're going to have to clarify which Trevor. But if you mean Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback, I mean, yeah, and then you can just dish him off to some other team for assets later on. Or somehow find a way to have two quarterbacks on the field at once. Do you see Tony dropping all the way to the Chiefs in the second round pick so we can pick him up? If you mean Kadarius Toney, no, I don't think he's going to be there in the second round. And again, he's one of those receivers that like I really like, but he's not really what the Chiefs need. But man, I like him so much. If he was in the second round, yeah, take him. I don't care. Figure out the rest later. Andrew and Sad has kind of asked essentially the same pick. My ideal combo, yeah, wide receiver and edge probably. Y'all smoking way too much. If you're ready to give up on Clyde, we've beaten that horse to death already. I don't hate on Clyde. I just don't like the pick so much. That's a lot for you guys are just debating again. I'll answer a few more questions and then I'll be done. I think we do need a power back like Chuba Hubbard. I think Darryl can be a power back, but I would like someone with a little bit more speed. Tyler, the fact we almost got Trent Williams haunts me. Yeah, I think it worked out well in the end, though. We would never bring back Bell. We are a pass-heavy offense. He doesn't fit our offense. Well, I mean, the Chiefs drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who, again, they touted as this, really good pass catcher. They didn't pass to him. And Le'Veon Bell is someone that is good in the passing game, so I'm not sure what the logic is there. If Cox is there at 58, yeah, I would be happy with that. Lawrence, yeah, Trevor Lawrence is there. Yeah, just find a way to get two quarterbacks on the field. Nah, bro, Williams is different. Yeah, but I mean, did you really want to pay him for the next 6 years and he's already in his 30s? Orlando Brown for a better number I'm cool with. All right, yeah, so I've been on here for almost an hour now, so I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. We actually got a nice little crowd in here tonight, so thanks for joining, everybody. Oh, we got one more. Andrew says, thanks for the content. Have a great night. Yeah, you too. Thanks for joining. Appreciate the support. Cox is way too similar to Willie Gay. I don't know, man. Cox is just strictly he's just strictly a coverage guy is what he is. Willie Gay is the much better run defender, in my opinion. And I also think Cox is more fluid in turning his hips and staying with guys in coverage. But yeah, like button. Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Everyone, make sure you like, share, subscribe so other Chiefs fans can find this. Make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com. But yeah, that's all I got for today, guys. Thanks for joining. We got a nice little crowd in here, like I said. Really appreciate the support. But that's all I got for today. So peace.